Hey, welcome. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bonjour, ça va? It's me, the Lost Canuck, and I'm standing outside here in front of the BBQ Barn, aka the Lost Canuck's garage. Alright, well, you're probably wondering to yourself, Lost Canuck, what the heck are you doing standing in front of your garage in front of this grill? Well, I'm excited, super excited, new addition to the grilling family, and I want to share it with you guys. I want to show you what I bought. So, but first, let's roll that intro. Okay, well, you see me standing in front of this grill. Let's get into it a little bit. This is called the Big Ben 10. Now, I know what you're thinking. No, it's not named after the Big Ben clock tower in London, England, which, you know, part of the British Empire. I'm originally from Canada. We know all those kind of things. But this is the Big Ben 10.
Kids, Big Ben.
And let me come out in front of it here. This is a really nice rotisserie grill. It's made by Wellspring Components in Shipshewana, Indiana. Now I'm going to leave you a little link on the history of Wellspring and where they came from, and I'll put a video card up here for you guys to check it out. It's called Big Ben 10 because originally there was a blacksmith, Big Ben, and he started a blacksmith shop and supplied the local farmers with, you know, springs and all kinds of stuff that he forged and used his anvil with. So it's kind of interesting. I'll put the story up. But today, these guys, they make all kinds of stuff. Okay, yes, they still make springs for horse and buggy carriages that you see some of the Amish community driving, or they make cabinets. I know for ceramic cookers like the green eggs and that kind of stuff. So you can have an outdoor kitchen. So anyways, this is a rotisserie grill, which is really cool. Now they make some different ones. They make a Big Ben 78, which is huge. That's for catering. Way too big for the Lost Canuck. They make a 40, which is half that size. And again, beautiful grill. You got to check it out online. But again, probably a little bit bigger than what I need. This they just came out with. This is the Big Ben 10, and it's for the backyard, average, everyday kind of guy like me. So I called them up and placed an order. Now they just brought this out about 3 months ago, and what it is, it's a dual stack system, and there's a ton of configurations for it. I'm excited to show you them all. We're going to go through the whole thing. I'm going to do a burn-in. So we're going to put some coal in here, do a burn-in, season it up. And tonight, let's make some, we'll do some chicken on it. Some chicken wings, maybe some breasts or something. I got to run over to Costco and do that. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so it's got twin adjustable stacks. Oh, plus, this whole thing's made out of 12-gauge steel. And it's heat treated and painted. And I checked with my caliper because, you know, I'm an engineer and I trust but I verify. So yes, I did check it out. It's a little over 1047. So yes, 12-gauge steel. So let's lift this thing up. Okay. So and I'll take it off the tripod in a second. It's got these hinge guides. It's got two adjustable dampers here in the front. And the dampers are, they're gasketed around the edge. The biggest part that I'm missing, they include a heavy-duty rotisserie motor, and it just mounts on this arm on the side. There we go. We'll go over that in a second. There's a rotisserie mount here. There's two vents on the sides. Let me take it off the tripod so you can see. Okay, so there's the front vents. Here's the side vent. Here's the spigot. Here's the rear vent. Now, this is a special edition I had them add. Now, I bought the plug myself, but they welded an 1.5-inch pipe fitting on here for me, so I can put my fan on there too. There's another side vent. There's the rotisserie. Here's the inside. Now, I've taken everything out of here, so this is just down to the bare unit, and you can see every joint is all welded. There's no sealant, nothing like that used. Everything's got welds. All right, so let's put it back on the tripod. I just went over the outside and I showed you everything and I opened it up. So let's start going through the different kinds of configurations. Now, this is really cool. Like I say, I couldn't justify the 40 because it's a lot bigger. And oh, you're probably wondering, hey, Lost Canuck, what are they selling these to you for? Well, I picked this. They are selling this for $24.50. Call them first, though. Call them at their shop in Shipshewana. Steel prices are wildly fluctuating all the time, so it may be more, it may be less, I don't know. But I paid just over $2,000 for this thing, and it's very nice. So like I say, it's all 12 gauge. I bought it with this base. It's got 2 non-swivel casters, 2 locking casters, and you can store your charcoal or whatever underneath here. So let's start putting this thing together. I'm going to put it together first in rotisserie mode, okay? And then I'll show you the other mode you can do it. So let's start with the rotisserie. Let me go grab that. Hang on. Okay, so this is the rotisserie basket, okay? And they've got bearings on here, so it's pretty nice. I like the design. Let's get this into position. All right, I apologize. My back was to you. So there's this lock. Here's the motor. There's a locking pin that you spin this into position, okay? And then you pull this into the drive shaft like that. Okay, so now it's into the coupling. And you just pin it, if I can do it. See if I can do it. There we go, look. Hey man, if the Lost Canuck can do it, you guys can do it. So we get that locking pin in there. Now the grate is locked into position, okay? So, and the cool thing about it, that's a sandwich grate. So these levers here, see how I did that? Lever? They clamp down on your grate and you clamp it like that into position. It'll be more clear here in a second. Okay, plus this is also adjustable with these pins. So there's a pin here, there's a little cotter pin. So if you got extra thick meat or thin meat, you can adjust it with this little cotter pin right here. See how that works? So let's put that back in. All right, so let me go get the grate and I'll show you how that works. Oh, you know what? Ha! I did it backwards. I should have put the charcoal basket in first. So let's take this out. I'll show you how the charcoal basket goes in. Then we'll get that. I'm so excited. I'm missing things here. Okay, well this pin is very, very tight. So, probably because it's brand new. So let's just give her a little tap out here. There we go. Okay. I want to wreck it, so there you have it. So what I'm going to do before I put it back in again is I'm just going to put a little grease on there. Might make it a little easier to come out. So let's grab this, take it off. Just like that. Okay, what they give you is a charcoal pan, okay? It's very nice. It's also made out of 12 gauge. So I'm going to put this into the bottom. Now it's sitting in the bottom. I'll show you in a second. Now we can put our rotisserie in. Hang on. So let's put our rotisserie back in. All right, so I think everybody's got a can of WD-40 in their house. I'm just going to give her a little shot. We're not in the food zone. We're outside the food zone. This is outside the food zone. So we're safe. We're not going to be eating this anyways. Not much. There. That's plenty. So let's get this back into the hole. Okay, so that's slid in. A lot easier with a little lube. So there's a Lost Canuck tip. Okay, we'll just leave that down here. So now that we have our rotisserie assembly in place, we're going to unlock the clamps, bring the motor up into position. Now you don't want to spin this too fast. Okay, so I'm going to put our sandwich grates in. Now this will make sense here in a second. Alright, so they give you these really nice 304 stainless steel sandwich grates. Now this is the top, and I'll just leave that here. Okay, so now you heard me talk about sandwich grates. So here's the bottom of the sandwich grate, and they give you a top part. So off screen, I'm going to put the top and the bottom just together. Actually, I could probably do this by hand right now. These are heavy. Okay, just like that. All right, now it helps to have a table off to the side, but we're going to put them in like this. I got the top and bottom on, just like that. Don't have any meat in them. We're going to clamp them down. Clamp them down. Okay, now this thing's held in place. All right, so that's pretty cool. All right, now I'm probably going through this doing it backwards or something, but if you see Dwayne's videos, you know, he's much smoother at it. So what you got to do next is close the lid. You know, open up your vents a little bit to whatever they're supposed to be. Open your bottom ones. Now I don't have any charcoal in there. I'm going to plug my rotisserie motor in. So give me a second. All right. So got the lid closed. Got the rotisserie motor hooked up. Let's see. Let's turn it on and see what happens. I needed an extension cord. And there it goes. Let's open this thing up. You can see what's going on. You can see it's spinning about, I don't know, maybe 3 RPM. Just riding on those bearings. That's all there is to it. All right, let's take this off the tripod so you can see it closer. There she is. It's vibrating a little bit, but probably has to get broken in. Okay, so this is the rotisserie mode. This is what I'm going to use it for mostly. You can see there's the charcoal pan down there. And a couple of mods I think I'm going to do in the beginning. Now I haven't done anything yet. Is you know, temperature gauge is very nice. It says big. What does it say on here? BBQ. Oh, it's a tell-true. Okay, so I'm going to probably take the tell-true off and put my own electronic system on there. All right, so let's get the sandwich grates out. These are heavy. You know, I probably had these in backwards too, but oh well. I'll look at Dwayne's video a little more in depth. And I'm going to pull the rotisserie out, and we're going to set it up for a little different mode, okay? So now we're just left with an empty grill. So the cool part about it is they give you these 4 little brackets, okay? And there's little mounts for it on the inside. So what you do is you put these in on the inside like this. Okay, so like I said, it's hard to see where the hole is. All right, so we're going to get our top grate, and I'll show you what this is. So now this is the top grate from your sandwich grate assembly. You just put it on here like that. There you go. Now you have a direct grilling option, okay, which is pretty cool. Now, the thing is, let's say, you know, you can put on here, you go low and slow, close this, do an offset, like close one of your stacks up, open your other one, put your coal over there, let it roll this way. It's kind of cool. You can use it as kind of a full offset, so you'd have your meat over here. So it looks like you got enough room on here for probably 2 medium-sized briskets, 1 giant brisket. You could probably get about 3-4 whole pork shoulders on here, no problem. So anyway, so that's for that. Now you're saying, hey, Lost Canuck, what if I want to really grill on here, like steaks and all that kind of stuff? Well, there's a way you can raise this coal bed, and I'll show you how that works. Let's pull the coal bed out. Okay, so they give you this wire rack that's made to the dimensions of their taper. So you put that in, just like that. Now, you grab your coal pan, then put it on top of your wire rack, just like that. Okay, so now your coal is up a lot higher to the surface. Let me grab the wire rack. Hang on. These are the brackets that I got to put in first. All right, so I put the wire rack in. Now that's your charcoal bed raised for hot and fast steaks, burgers that you want to flip or whatever, if you weren't using the rotisserie. Now, I'm probably going to use this in rotisserie mode most of the time because I have some other grills that I use for hot and fast, but that's if you needed to use that, that's the way to do it. Now, there's one more mode that I haven't showed you, so hang on. Okay, so I reset the charcoal pan, and you can tell because it's underneath the vents. So it's back down in its normal low position. There's a drip pan. For indirect, like I said, if you want to do briskets low and slow, let me go get that. Sorry. Much like the raised coal pan, this is a drip pan you get with it, a big one. Okay, so it's got handles on it, and it's got a little hole down here. Plus, it's got little fingers on it to hold it up on the taper. So our coal bed's underneath this, right? So you've got this much, you can pile that much coal in it, which is huge. And then you've got this little drip thing that you hang your bucket on here, and you can go low and slow, cook your brisket, smoke them, do whatever. So that's kind of cool too. So those are all the modes. Oh, wait, I didn't put the grid back in. Hang on. Okay, Lost Canuck, forgot to put the grid back in. So that's all of the ways you can use this thing. Hang on. All right, so I showed you the original setup, which is the giant rotisserie. So you have your charcoal pan in the bottom. You pin this. This is the top part of the sandwich grate. You put all your meat into your sandwich grates. You'll need a table offline to do this. Now, I wish they would have had maybe a side shelf or a front shelf. Maybe that's a mod that the Lost Canuck will do. It's a good idea. Hey, Wellspring guys, if you're thinking about it, shelf would be nice to, for the backyard guy, you could hold at least one of these things while you're getting ready. All right, so this, I have it in low and slow mode. So your coal bed's in the bottom, drip pan, grid. You can place your meat. You can, do the snake method, minion method. Let your coal burn across. You adjust your stacks accordingly. So you could run a 2-zone system, okay? Which is kind of nice. I'm going to set this all back up to rotisserie mode. And we're going to put some coal in here and let it burn in. See what the temperature control's like. So stand by. Oh, and I forgot to say, remember I said you can hang a bucket. Here's one of my older buckets from one of my other pellet grills. You just flip this up, hang it on there like that. Voila, bucket. All right, well, we're going to season this thing. So I like to use either tallow, I don't have any at the time, or avocado spray. It's also a high temp spray. So we're going to lightly coat the surfaces with oil. And the reason you do this is if you scratch it or you ding it, and it's a grill, it's going to happen. Scrape off some of the paint or whatever. You don't want to have exposed metal because then it'll rust on you, depending on where you live. I'm going to keep mine inside, so it shouldn't be too bad. So let's just lightly spray the outside and the bottom. Take a microfiber towel. Didn't want to get any up there, but oh well. And just kind of make sure it's all coated evenly in the inside. So that's the bottom, all done. I'm going to do the same thing with the charcoal pan. I'm going to put a little bit on the lid. I don't like to use a whole lot because it all drips down. We'll just lightly there. Season that. Like over time, when you're cooking on this anyways, you're going to build up a nice layer of fat and grease and oil. It kind of self-seasons itself. So there's probably one mod for sure I'm going to do, because I noticed they didn't have this, is I'm probably going to put a gasket on the lid so that it seals down nice and tight. So when you go to choke off your airflow, it doesn't burn off all your charcoal. So there, we've got this part seasoned. I'm going to do the same thing with the charcoal pan. Alright, so now that we have the charcoal pan and the inside seasoned, I'm just going to do the same thing with the rotisserie. Well, and the stainless steel doesn't need to be seasoned, so we'll just rotate this back so we can get the stainless in. There. Open up our grates. Pretty sure I was doing it backwards before. So let's see if I can do it frontwards. That's probably how I'd put it in. Put it in that way. Put the starters in. Get it all started up. And then just close this up. So, the one thing that sold me on the Wellspring Big Ben 10 was the ability to self-baste. So, on some of the other rotisseries, you're using a flat grate that just, like a merry-go-round, round and round like that, okay? Nothing wrong with that. It's great for butts, briskets, that kind of stuff. But what I like about this is that it turns over upside down on itself, so the juices baste itself, okay? So they're not just all dropping to the bottom. They're coating the surface, plus they drop to the bottom too. But that's the nice thing about the Big Ben self-basting feature. What I got here is maybe a quarter bag of B&B briquettes. So I'm just going to put these in the bottom. Okay, so I've got it kind of in an oval-shaped pile on the bottom. And I'm just going to put in a couple of fire starters into the middle. Just make sure all your charcoal's touching. So I'm a lump kind of guy, but I got my B&B in there for the burn-in. I'm going to save one of my starters. Put that down low here. Okay, let me go get a lighter. We'll light this, turn on the rotisserie, and we'll get our vent set. Okay, let's get these little starters lit. Okay, we're going to let that burn for a second before I get my vents open. Actually, maybe I can open them up now. Probably going to go with maybe an inch on the bottoms, like that. I'm going to leave the side vents closed. I'm going to let these bombs light down, get the charcoal going before I close the lid. I'm going to close the lid, adjust the top stacks, and then I probably want to let this thing, what I typically do on my other grills is I let it burn in right around 250, 275 in there. Don't go over 300. You'll blister the paint off. Well, they say this has already been cured in their curing ovens. Probably is, but I'm like I said, I'm an engineer. I'm a pessimist, so I'm going to go and treat it gently because I want this thing to last me a while. All right, well, let's let these things burn. I'll be back in a second. Hey, well, hey, we're back at the pit at the Big Ben 10, and I've been burning it in for, I don't know, about 3.5 hours now. It's just been sitting here right at 275, rock solid. It's been bouncing between 275 and 300 before I learned how to control the dampers. So I have them open about on the top. These top ones are just about an inch open at the widest part. And then these ones are about 3/4 of an inch open. The two side ones are closed, and the back one is open about an inch. So that lets it sit there. It's just sitting here hovering around 275. I'm going to shut her down now. I've had the rotisserie going, everything, so I'm going to shut it down, damper everything off, save my charcoal. I'm going to head over to Costco, pick up some wings, load up this basket, and see how they taste. Maybe I'll throw some chicken breasts in there too. All right, so the next time you see me, it'll be upstairs. We'll load up this basket, the sandwich grate, I guess they call it, and we'll do a little cook. Hey, well, we're back at the Wellspring Components Big Ben 10, and well, it's the next day, and got it all burnt in and seasoned. You can see how nice and shiny the inside is. Did my first mod last night. I put a lava lock high temp gasket from the rotisserie this part, and you're probably wondering, hey, Lost Canuck, why'd you put it on the lid? Why wouldn't you put it down here? Well, I'll tell you why. When it's up here and you're taking food off, a lot of the time you spill grease and stuff on the front here. Just kind of, it eats the glue off your gasket. This way, your gasket stays in place for a lot longer. Okay, so it's pretty tight down here near the bottom and then by the hinge, so I don't need a gasket down there. But up front here, I was losing a lot of smoke, so it's a little better sealed. All right, so I got it loaded up with, I was over at Ace Hardware. I picked up some new briquettes here, Meat Church charcoal. We'll give her a try, see if it's any good, see if it's as good as the B&B stuff. I like the B&B, but thought I'd try it. Plus, the bag color, hey, matches my shirt. Why not? Okay, so let's take a look in here. I'll show you what I got set up. Got a bunch of charcoal in the bottom, starters, got some wood chunks. Probably not doing it right, but so I got a pretty decent bed of charcoal in there with some fire starters. Then I put the wood chunks over to the back, so as it burns, across here, it'll catch that and get some smoke. Then there was a bunch of pieces of bark that I just threw in there. I got to get rid of that. So those are hickory wood chunks I used. There's the briquettes. All right, so let's light this thing up. We'll go prep up our wings. I got the sandwich grate upstairs all ready for that. And so let's get the fire starters lit. All right, well, we'll let this burn for a couple of minutes before I close the lid. The charcoal that I did light, it does smell very nice. So anyways, let's get this closed. And we'll open up our top dampers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up to about 300, and then we'll get the chicken on. So it'll take a while to get hot. So let's get this thing nice and hot, and let's run upstairs, and magically we're going to appear and prepare chicken. All right, well, we're upstairs in the barbecue lab. We got the pit lit. Now, while we're waiting for the temperature on that to come up and the coals to get nice and ashy, we're going to prep our wings, okay? I'm going to use 2 different rubs today because I have such a big grate. So I'm going to try this Ohhhh we're smoking. This is their all-purpose rub. Really like this stuff. It's salt, pepper, garlic, and then a couple other little goodies in there. He uses all natural stuff. I like it. So we're going to do half the wings with that. And then I've got some Smokin' Brothers Jailbird. This is for chicken. Chicken seasoning. It's pretty good. This is a new one. I just opened it. So let's get these wings. Now you've seen me prep wings 1,000 times. Oh, and I forgot to say, this is 8.3 pounds of chicken, And what are they selling it for at Costco? $2.79. So it has gone up. Remember, it used to be $1.99 forever. There's a lot of liquid in these. Now I don't think these ones are air chilled. Sometimes you can get them air chilled. These ones aren't. And all that means is how they chilled these is they have a big, it's called a drag chiller. So they drag the chickens through a big bath of ice water, basically. That's how they cool it. So there's a little extra water in your wings. Now, air chilled is just like that's how it sounds. It's chilled in a big open room with large HVAC blowing on this. Okay, so that's good. Let's get some paper towel. We'll pat off the top. Try not to get any towel in your mixing bowl. Okay, what we're gonna do, spray them with some oil. What we're gonna do is put our first rub on here. Oh, we're smoking. Now I have another pack of wings because I don't know, that's a big grate for that Wellspring pit, so maybe I need two. So what I'm going to do is put these on the grate. Let me move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. So this is the bottom of the Wellspring sandwich grate. So let me get the other glove on. I'm going to place these across just like this. All right, so there's less than half, so I think I might have to open up the other package. Chicken inherently has a lot of salmonella on the surface. I'm not saying this one does, but just be careful in your kitchen. We'll sanitize the countertops and wash your hands well before you do anything. And we're going to oil up our wings. Coated. Okay, so this is our second rub. This is the Jailbird by Smokin' Brothers. You'll be able to tell which one's which. This is red. Now we're going to arrange our chicken on the other part of the grate. Probably going to move this last row. All right, so here's the exciting part. What we're going to do now is put the top half of the sandwich grate on that holds it down. Just like that. Good. Okay. Now we're going to take this sandwich grate, bring it out to the pit, and clamp it in. So stand by. All right, well, we're back at the grill after getting our wings all prepped. You just saw me do that. She's sitting right between 275 and 300. If you make fine adjustments on these stacks, little bits at a time, it's really good. So when I open this up, the charcoal is going to take off, so I'll probably dial these back a little bit till it gets back down, turn the rotisserie on, and start cooking. All right, so you want to clamp these down. Clamp it down. Get some good hot gloves. Now, it's going to take off on me here, so I'm going to close that up. So, get yourself some good hot gloves. Now, it doesn't have to be these. It could be any kind, the neoprene or whatever, but everything inside's really hot, and when you go to take it out, it's going to be hot. So, I like these Hey Grill Hey. They rate up to 450. Should be okay here. I've got some other ones, actually. I had them out here. You can move the coal around with them, and they're, MagnaChef. You can actually pick the coals up. I think they're good up to 930, something like that. Anyways, you can see it's already spiking up to 3, and I want to be at 300. So, some good quality smoke coming out of there. There we go. You can see my gasket job on the front anyways did good. She's sealed up. There was smoke rolling out of here. The only place that it's coming out of is where the rotisserie goes. So I just turned the rotisserie motor on. See, show you that quick. There, see, she's spinning now over the coals. All right, well, go chicken go. I'm going to come back and check this in about 30 minutes. See where we're at. Get my thermopen and we'll check the temps. All right. So you want to run, I usually run chicken right around 300, 350, so we can bump those open a little more. There we go. Again, fine adjustments. I like to just leave the ones down below where they are and try and control your temps up here. All right, we'll see you in about 30 minutes. I'll do some temp checks, and if it's too low, I'll see you in another 30 minutes. See you then. All right, well, it's been about 40 minutes now since we put them on. I can hear them sizzling in there, so that's a good sign. Let's turn the rotisserie off, and we'll do a temperature check here with my thermopen. Okay, oh boy, the stuff in the middle looks like she's burnt a bit. Oh yeah, 183, 180. So it's all 180. Let's get this closed again. Turn the rotisserie on so we don't burn too bad. I'm going to damper this back a little bit. I usually like to let my wings go up to into the 190. So let's move some of that wood out of the way. Hang on. Remember I said I had some high temp gloves? Well, these are them. Turn that off. Yeah. I'm just going to move this wood over. Yep. Yeah, that's why you wear high temp gloves. I got burnt a little bit here, but well, a couple of the wings are be a little crispy in the middle where I had the wood. Okay, I'm going to move this over a bit. 2-3 more minutes just to get everything even, and then we'll pull it off. That cooked really fast, and the wings look good. Okay, well that was about an extra almost 5 minutes, so let's turn the rotisserie off. Open our lid. Wow, yeah, they look good. Let's just check. Note to self, I need to put more coal at the ends so that everything's super even. The stuff that I had in the middle is actually past done. And then, so we'll get that done. But let me pull the wings out. They're past 165, so they're safe. Like I say, I just like to get the skin a little crispy. So we'll pull them out. Most of them are like 190. And we'll put them on the tray here and bring them upstairs. There we go. So we'll spin this around so I can, yeah, see the ones in the middle are a little burnt. So I put some trivets on my table so I don't burn it. I'm going to close this up. Just going to let this sit here for a little while. I'm not adding any more coal or anything. These wings are, well, let's take a look. I'll show you what I mean. So I just did the temperature check. They look pretty good. So I burnt them a little bit in the middle. But from this side, these were about 185. These are about 199, 200. These are in the 180s again. So we're food safe. Let's bring these upstairs. Hey, well, we're back upstairs in the barbecue lab. You saw me take the wings off. They're sitting here. I've taken a few off. Some of the ones in the middle got burnt a bit, but everything else looks pretty decent. So these are made on the Wellspring Components, the Big Ben 10. It's my first time cooking on it. I was kind of excited. It was fun. Learned a lot. Okay, so when I do ribs, it'll be a little different. But let's try one of these wings. All right, so like I said, we learned a lot. Made some mistakes, but man, these things smell really good. Like nice charcoal. Oh yeah, nice charcoal. So let's give them a taste test. Cheers, try it out. Juicy, crispy. Got that charbroiled charcoal flavor. And then you see there's a bit of a smoke ring in there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. So anyways, tasty. Family's hungry, so let's do my final thoughts and conclusions. All right. Okay. So, final thoughts and conclusions. We got the pit burnt in. We got the pit seasoned. That was pretty easy. We got the wings prepped. No problem. So wings, no brainer on this pit. Easy, fast. That only took 40 minutes to make an entire rack of wings. So this thing cooks fast. So the Big Ben 10, it's an awesome pit. I'm going to have a lot of fun cooking on it. This was my first cook. I'm going to do ribs, more chicken, maybe some pork chops, burgers, all that kind of stuff. So, and I'm using wood, charcoal. It's easy to adjust. Once you get this thing dialed in, it pretty much stays where it's at. Because I just was down there checking the pit a minute ago. It's still sitting there at 300. So that's pretty nice. Would I buy it again? Yes. It's a very nice if you want a rotisserie, this is pretty nice. Now they make a bigger one, the 40. It's a lot more expensive. I think it's in the $6,000 range. It's for probably restaurants or catering. This thing here, $24.50. Great product. Good job, Wellspring guys. I did a few mods, probably do a couple more mods by the time I'm done. That's always the fun part too. I think I'm going to put a shelf on the front just to make things a little easier. And I'll show you how I do that in the future. Thanks for coming back to the channel, by the way, to all my core viewers. You're the core. Very much appreciated. Thanks for watching. Okay, thanks for coming back. And if you're new and you just wanted to check out how this Wellspring thing worked, check out some of my other content. Got tons of it. I got other charcoal content. I got pellet grills. I got regular grills. I got everything. So check that out. Also, don't forget to hit that like if you got value out of this. Like button really helps the channel. And if you have the ability, hype me some points. It starts at 450. You just swipe over to the side, send me some hype points. It helps YouTube figure out where this video should go. So don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notify me button. Okay? And don't forget also, check me out on Instagram. I got an Instagram page and I post some different things there from time to time. I'll put the QR code up over here at Lost Canuck BBQ. Not .com, at Lost Canuck BBQ. Sorry, on Instagram. All right, so we're at the end of the video. Don't forget, check out the Lost Canuck affiliate store. There's links below. I'll leave the link to the Wellspring stuff too. I'm not affiliated, I'm not paid, I'm not sponsored. I just bought this thing because I thought it'd be pretty cool to add to the channel. Final words from the Lost Canuck are the same all the time. Don't forget, be kind to each other. It really matters. It's super important nowadays. You don't know what other people are thinking or what they're going through, or if they've had a bad day or whatever. We all have bad days. Be kind to each other. It really matters. It's getting crazier and crazier out there. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. Love you guys.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.